now I'd like to introduce one of those powerful young voices who probably a year ago might not have imagined herself standing in front of you all and giving powerful kōrero week after week. But this is a young person who has been brave enough to speak to people in this moment. This is someone who has felt the call of the historical moment and has risen to that, as we all must. So I'd like to introduce our very special speaker today, Lou Jane, who's Iraqi Palestinian, who will share some words with us.
Assalamu alaikum, kia ora everyone. Thank you for coming to another rally to support the people of Palestine and Lebanon. In Gaza, the situation is harrowing, and the humanitarian crisis has reached unimaginable proportions. Just yesterday, a relentless Israeli airstrike on Jabalia refugee camp killed at least 20 Palestinians, adding to a staggering toll that has seen over 42,000 people killed in the past year, including more than 16,000 children. These numbers are possibly much higher as they don't take into account deaths due to starvation, lack of health care, and those missing under the rubble. The organization Doctors Without Borders reported that at least 400,000 people are trapped in northern Gaza, unable to find refuge even as evacuation orders are issued. Nobody is allowed to get in or out, and anyone who tries is getting shot. Shame! Shame! In the midst of this genocide, a hidden and dangerous threat has emerged. Sorry. Asbestos, I think. Asbestos has been used in plenty of Gaza's buildings and structures, and the ongoing bombardment by the Israeli occupational forces has destroyed over 80% of Gaza's buildings, releasing harmful particles into the air. Experts warn that this will result in cancer cases that could be reported for years to come, adding yet another layer of suffering to a population that is already facing immense hardship. In the West Bank, Israeli special forces have killed at least 4 Palestinians in Nablus, with a 5th person wounded. This incident is a cowardly attack and a horrific crime. Since Israel's military actions began in Gaza in October 2023, raids in the West Bank have intensified, resulting in at least 747 Palestinian deaths and over 6,200 injuries. Turning to Lebanon, at least 2,229 people have now been killed and 10,380 wounded since Israel began its strikes on southern Lebanon and the capital of Beirut. Shame! Shame! Yesterday's Israeli strike on Beirut resulted in 22 deaths and 117 injuries, marking the deadliest attack on the city center since hostilities began. Among the victims were a family of 8, including 3 children who had evacuated from South Lebanon. As Israel wages war on Lebanon, it is employing some of the same devastating tactics used in Gaza. These attacks are not only unjustifiable, they represent a grave violation of internal law, endangering civilians and those working to maintain peace. France, Italy, and Spain have condemned Israel's second brutal attack on the UN personnel, which resulted in injuries to peacekeepers based in Lebanon. In Syria, on Tuesday night, Israel targeted a residential building in Al-Mazzi neighborhood in Damascus, killing 7 people and injured 11 others. This escalation in violence adds to the suffering and instability faced by civilians across the Middle East. As we witness this unfolding disaster across many countries in the region, we must stand together in demanding an immediate ceasefire. We must raise our voices in solidarity with those who are suffering and call for an end to this horrific violence act committed by Israel. We will now have a moment of silence to honor the martyrs. Thank you.